Hey everybody, good morning. It's Wednesday, May 3rd. Wednesday, May 3rd today. And I thought I would pop in here. I know I'm a little earlier than normal, but I just finished a presentation where I was asked to consolidate everything into 15 minutes. And so now I'm just bubbling over with all the things that I wanted to say and different epiphanies and aha moments that were coming to me as I was speaking with this group. So for those of you who I haven't met before, my name is Tanya Woods Richardson. I'm a financial strategist, meaning I build business budgets, and a neuroeconomics expert, which is really just a fancy way of saying I'm fascinated by our brain and the decisions that it makes when it comes to money. So why I'm in here right now is because I wanted to speak to you a little bit more about behavioral finance and emotions. So here's the thing, just to give you some framework in the work that I do, I've created a program which is called the Money Mastery Matrix. And it is based on my knowing that we finally come to master our money when we incorporate three different realms. Three different worlds need to converge for us to finally come to this point where we master the magnificence of money. One world, one realm is money management, getting crystal clear on how much money needs to be created. The second realm is money mindset, understanding the programming at the basis of our subconscious that has resisted the magic number, how much we actually really need to create. And then the third realm is what I call money motive, which is the getting into alignment, getting into emotional alignment with why creating that number, that magic number, is so important, because that's where all of these three pieces come together, kind of opens up the gateway into the matrix. So here's what I wanted to share with you today, what I find so fascinating. So if we know that, and we know this is cellular biology, that it is the emotional environment in which a cell is sitting in that actually programs that cell. And so when we think about the whole money mindset piece, it was our experiences from 0 to 12, what we first observed, and then the interpretations we made to those observations, and then the emotional attachment that we assigned to them. That's what formed the basis of our programming that is really accounting for 95% of the decisions that we are making on a daily basis. They're on autopilot. We think we're making the decisions, but we are not. It is our subconscious that is making those decisions. So hence the work in week 3, which is about money motive and understanding why making this magic number is so important. Because when we understand why and we feel it, then we actually start to create it. So here's as I was speaking to people in the group this morning, there was a couple of examples that came out, and here's what I want to show you, how this all kind of comes together. So when you think of the governments and major corporations have really been the ones that have been investing significantly in the area of behavioral finance, how our brains are wired so that we will buy their product. So as a perfect example, I want you to think about some of the financial institutions that are out there. I apologize if you're seeing these messages coming up here on my screen, but some of the financial institutions out there. So for example, when we start thinking about freedom, right, and they want to sell financial freedom with respect to investments, which is a really important thing. So I'm not saying don't do it, but I want you to realize what they've done, because when they start talking about freedom, what do they show us? And there's many different examples, but the one that comes to mind right now, beautiful retired couple. They're in a beautiful convertible. The sun is shining down on them. They are driving along. It looks like a California coastline with the ocean lapping up on the beach below. They're smiling away and they're driving, their hair's blowing, and they are just super happy. And when you're not processing all of this, but what your brain is processing is the emotion that gets attached to that image, right? And you can feel the freedom. You feel the wind in your hair. You feel the sun. You feel the smile. You feel the ocean. All of that is extremely deliberate so that we feel freedom And one of the things that many of us crave, especially for those that I work with in the area of trying to reinventing and transforming their financial reality, is that there is this craving and desire for financial freedom, for safety, for security, right? So because they've managed to evoke that emotion in us, we go and we buy. Another example that came to mind this morning was Coca-Cola. And so when we think about their primary, the primary emotional trigger, it's about refreshment. So what do? They show the woman taking a can of Coke out of this big cooler. The condensation is forming on the outside of the can. It's dripping down. She releases the tab. The effervescence goes. She brings the can up to her lips. She closes her eyes. She takes a sip. Big smile shows up on her face, water sprinkler coming from behind with the sun out, right? So it's like, refreshment. It is embedding in us that Coca-Cola equals refreshment. It's the emotion that is attached to it. So what does that have to do with your financial situation? So I can tell you right now, whatever you are feeling, even through COVID, even through this crisis, it's just an escalation of COVID did not cause the financial fragility, it just exposed it. So whatever you were feeling financially, stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, burdened, maybe because of debt, uncertain because you weren't sure where your money was going to come from, those feelings are likely, the emotions are likely representative of your early environment or aspects of it. Sometimes it follows a cycle, sometimes it's consistent. Everyone's got a different story, but that early programming is what's there. So if we want to change our financial situation, we first need to get very clear on how much money we need to create. We then need to understand what the blocks are. And then the third piece is we need to understand why making that magic number is so important. It's not enough for the vision boards. It's not enough to just say, I want to feel safe and secure. What we have to do is we have to feel it. Just like the financial institutions and the beverage companies have marketed to us to make those trigger points, our job is to feel, for example, safe and secure as often, as frequently as possible. Because the more we do that work for us and the more we reprogram, we're basically reprogramming the cells of the subconscious, letting it know, getting it familiar with, this is what safety and security feels like. This is what freedom feels like. And the more we do that, the more we make our subconscious comfortable, familiar with that feeling, it will automatically, on autopilot, make better decisions on our behalf that align with that outcome. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. So I'm going to leave that with you. You can sit with that today. Let me know what comes up for you. Now, if you are interested in learning more about the Matrix, again, it's a 3-step process. Money management, get crystal clear on what you need to create. Money mindset, understand the blocks that are preventing you from making that number. And money motive, getting into emotional alignment. We've got mastermind groups that are launching every week. It's a group of 10 people where you follow this program together. Part group, part online, part live coaching. It's all there for you. This is the time that you are most inclined to do the work that needs to be done because your subconscious is already uncomfortable. Through COVID, it's already uncomfortable. So there you have it. Thanks for investing a couple minutes with me this morning. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you. Bye for now.